So I wanted to take a few minutes with this video to talk about 4 interesting PlayStation 5 stories, and if you could hit that like button on the video, thank you to those that do it, and as always, it's very much appreciated. Now, the stories I wanted to cover today include some financial news from Sony from this morning. Sony's really doing this acquisitions battle with Microsoft with their buyout of Bungie recently, and what this means for the future of their games. Sony has more big acquisitions to come, and the Microsoft Activision deal is getting grilled. First, yes or no, are you a fan of Destiny by Bungie or not? This obviously relates to one of the stories we're going to go over today, and I'm curious how many of you are even fans of Destiny or not. I personally don't care about Destiny. I've said this on Twitter, but of course that's just me. What about you guys? So comment below, yes or no, if you're a fan of Destiny the game or not. Let me know down in the comments below. Now, diving into the first story here, let's get the financials out of the way. I'm obviously not going to dive into everything, but some of the highlights. Going through that, Sony has sold 17.3 million PlayStation 5 to retailers. In comparison, Xbox Series consoles have sold 12 million as of earlier this year. The 12 million from Xbox, though, is an estimate from industry analyst Daniel Ahmed, as opposed to Sony that have given us official numbers with that 17.3 million. So the 17.3 million is official, while the 12 million from Xbox is an estimate. We don't know exactly what it is from my understanding so far for the Xbox side. So this isn't sold to customers, but to retailers on both ends, Xbox and Sony. Regardless, it's not 2-to-1 so far, but that's mainly because of chip shortages. But it's also not just 1 to 2 million difference between PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series consoles like people were trying to make out last year. It looks like it's about 5.3 million, and again, the Xbox number is an estimate from Daniel Ahmed. I wonder what the Xbox official numbers are, though. Hopefully we get those. Beyond that, PS Plus has reached 48 million subscribers, and since Sony are going to possibly move PlayStation Now under PS Plus soon, in comparison, Xbox Game Pass has 25 million subscribers. Obviously here you have to note that Game Pass is new, while PlayStation Plus has existed since late PlayStation 3 era. Let's see how those numbers change when the new PlayStation Plus service comes out. Sony also revealed in their financial call that they plan to release 10 live service games by 2026 in 4 years time. So this includes the likes of Factions 2, whatever Guerrilla is working on, rumored to be Killzone or SOCOM, Deviation Games, what they're working on, Haven Studios, PlayStation London, Insomniac Games has something multiplayer, rumored to be a multiplayer Marvel game, Twisted Metal, free to play from Firesprite, Bungie's new IP. That's 8 right there so far, but I don't know if they included Bungie before this statement, so there could be 2 or 3 more that we don't know about. Still though, this is a very hard push into online/live service space, and I'm for it personally if it's done right. Also, this doesn't stop the next Ghost of Tsushima from happening or anything like that. Sony has grown by a lot in the last year, and it's for a reason. From partnerships to increasing their internal studio power, they're going to bring live service titles and keep bringing those amazing single player titles that we all love, of course. So that's some of the highlights, but there's definitely more to look into if you're interested, and I'll have that link below. Now, diving into the second story of the video, Sony buys Bungie and what this means for the future of PlayStation. So by this point, all of you or most of you know what's going on here. Sony's in the process of buying Bungie for $3.6 billion, their biggest acquisition to date. This was crazy when I first saw it because it was just so weird to see Bungie and Sony get together, considering Bungie created, obviously, Halo. And we always thought at some point Bungie would go back to Microsoft because, you know, Halo, Bungie, Microsoft, that whole situation. We thought that was going to happen. Sony and Bungie also confirmed something here with this buyout. No exclusives. Destiny isn't going exclusive. No exclusive Destiny content either. Also, no exclusive future titles from Bungie. Those will all be multi-platform, and Bungie will run independent. So a lot of people, including myself, saw this and were confused as to what the purpose was of buying Bungie if this was the case. Some suggested it was so Sony could keep Destiny on their platform instead of Xbox pulling it away, which tells you how crazy this thing has gotten with Microsoft, the company that preaches everyone plays, we all win, which they need to stop, honestly, unless all of Activision's titles and Bethesda's are staying multi-platform like they've always been. Otherwise, that statement literally means nothing. Microsoft, you guys have to stop or, stick to your word. But on to the reason why they did this buyout. It's for Bungie's expertise in live service titles, which makes even more sense now that we know Sony wants to release 10 live service titles by 2026. This is where the likes of the rumored Killzone Online or SOCOM Online come in. Bungie could assist with that Guerrilla project. Factions 2 could also gain help from this deal as well. Just sitting here thinking about Factions 2 and potentially Killzone Online multiplayer both on PlayStation 5, that sounds really, really good to me if I can get both of those just to play whenever I want. Also, Bungie has expertise in the FPS genre, obviously, and they do it well. They could definitely help Sony bring more FPS titles to the PlayStation 5 in this area here. And in terms of size, Bungie is really huge. They have 900 employees for one studio. In comparison, all of Bethesda / ZeniMax, that whole situation there, 7-8 studios, they have 2,300 employees. 2,300 to one studio that has 900, just to show people how insanely large Bungie actually is. And with Sony's buyout, they're hiring even more. Obviously, Bethesda, ZeniMax, all those studios are going to hire more people as well after Microsoft bought them out. But I'm just saying, as it is right now, 900 for one studio, 2,300 for like 8. That's a crazy comparison, and it shows you just how big Bungie is, and they're definitely working on multiple projects. Sony is really pushing hard and really doing this battle with Microsoft, it seems, and I'm definitely interested to see where things go. But you guys let me know if you're excited about the Bungie buyout or not. Let me know down in the comments below. Now, diving into the third story of the video, Sony and their potential buyouts of Square Enix, Capcom, Konami, etc. So this is an interesting one. Sony recently came out after the Bungie buyout and said that we should expect more acquisitions from them. They're not stopping here with Bungie. The exact statement from Jim Ryan is, we should absolutely expect more. Now, not long after this, you had many people in the industry go off talking about the future acquisitions and how big they are. We had Jeff Grubb on his channel tease larger buyouts potentially set to come, and he wanted to make it clear he wasn't teasing Take-Two getting bought out, so that's one there. And then honestly, it would be crazy though if GTA 6 was an exclusive title, similar to Call of Duty if it was an exclusive title. Hopefully that doesn't happen. We also had Jeff Keighley come out and say this on Twitter. Have heard from multiple people, as you might suspect, there are a few other big video game deals in final stages of negotiations. It's going to be an interesting year. So right here, he's teasing announcements for 2022. This is where Sony comes in. I personally think Microsoft is on hold for now. They literally bought the biggest publisher in gaming with Activision. Of course, that doesn't mean they have to stop. I'm just saying that's a gigantic deal alongside Bethesda. Would they want to make another one that could potentially jeopardize the Activision deal because they'll look even more monopolistic? And in that discussion, people keep bringing up that Microsoft is only third in the gaming division, like they're not the second biggest company in the world. Microsoft is buying Bethesda and Activision, not Xbox. This is still a gigantic company buying another huge company. In terms of Sony, Square Enix seems like target number one. Sony has a long relationship with the publisher. They also they literally have multiple exclusives with them. Final Fantasy VII Remake just recently came out for PC, but it's been on PlayStation since 2019, I think. Forspoken is another one, and you also have Final Fantasy 16. So Sony also wants to get more into live services because look at Bungie and that buyout over there. Square Enix has Final Fantasy 14 Online, which is huge. Another addition to their games as a service portfolio. Beyond that, I've seen multiple people mention Capcom a lot, Sega to a lesser extent. Not as many people have mentioned Sega for Sony. From Software, Konami, Remedy Games, Kojima Productions, and more. This is going to be an interesting year. Sony already announced PlayStation VR 2 officially out there. They're about to release Horizon 2 Forbidden West this month. We think about all these buyouts and forget the actual big games coming out sometimes. They announced that they bought Bungie and have so much more left for the year. 2022 is possibly about to be one of the best years of gaming. We'll have to wait and see how it goes. And now diving into the final story of the video, Microsoft Activision deal cancellation possibility. Reading from Video Game Chronicle, Microsoft's recent acquisition of Activision Blizzard will receive an antitrust review handled by the Federal Trade Commission. It has been reported. In a break from tradition, the review will not be handled by the Justice Department. As reported by Bloomberg, the FTC will investigate the deal to determine whether the takeover of the publishing giant constitutes unfair competition, according to a person speaking to the organization anonymously. It is understood that the deal will not be reviewed by the Justice Department, which typically works with the FTC to rule on similar cases. Competition law seeks to maintain market competition by regulating anti-competitive conduct by companies. In the case of mergers and acquisitions, regulators can prohibit deals which are considered to threaten market competition or suggest remedies such as an obligation to divest part of the new business. So this is interesting to see. Honestly, it'll probably go through, but again, this is a huge deal, like really, really big, and I'm really curious to see how it plays out come next year. But you guys let me know if you think the Activision deal will go through or not. Let me know down in the comments below. And if you guys did enjoy this video, please hit that like button, as it always helps, and subscribe if you're new. I got new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and now I'll check you guys out on the next one. And welcome back to the after show. This is the part of the video where we have a little fun down in the comments below. If you're old, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. For today's thing, what I want you guys to do is to body, obliterate, destroy, and overall harass the comment section with "The buyout wars continue." Obviously, this is in reference to Bungie being bought out and more buyouts potentially to come this year. It's a crazy year for gaming. So if you're excited for all of that, destroy the comment section with "The buyout wars continue." And I'll definitely heart those comments like I always do, because I appreciate everybody who stays to the end of my videos. And now I'll check you guys out on the next one.